Welcome back to my channel. It's Vernon again. Imagine waking up next to your partner in your golden years, sharing a quiet morning coffee and feeling that deep sense of connection that only grows stronger with time. But then there are couples who, after weathering the challenges of youth together, choose to part ways in their later years. Why does this happen? In today's video, I'm excited to share 4 powerful tips for lasting love, no matter your age. Whether you're in the midst of a long-term marriage or looking to build something beautiful with someone new, these tips will help you create a bond that can endure the test of time. For those of you who've been part of this journey, I appreciate you more than you know. And for those who are new, I'd love for you to subscribe my channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss any new content that could transform your approach to love and relationships. Are you ready to discover the secrets that could transform your senior years into the most loving chapter of your entire marriage? Let's dive in. Number 1. The art of sacred acceptance. There's something my brother Robert and her wife Dorothy discovered during their 38th year of marriage that completely transformed their relationship. Dorothy had always been frustrated by Robert's habits, leaving coffee cups around, falling asleep in his chair during TV time, and resisting the social plans she loved. For years, she tried to change him, believing their marriage would be perfect if he was more like she wanted. Then, Dorothy had her awakening moment. She realized she'd been fighting the very qualities that had drawn her to Robert: his contentment with simple pleasures, his ability to find peace in quiet moments, and his preference for intimate gatherings over large events. What she had called his flaws were actually expressions of his true nature. This discovery embodies what I call the art of sacred acceptance, the profound shift from trying to change your partner to celebrating who they truly are, understanding that this acceptance becomes more powerful and more necessary with each passing year. After 60, this wisdom becomes not just beautiful, but essential for marital happiness. We no longer have decades to wear down our partner's rough edges or to gradually mold them into our ideal companion. We have the time we have, and that time is precious. Dorothy's transformation illustrates this beautifully. Instead of leaving coffee cups as evidence of Robert's carelessness, she began to see them as signs of his presence, his comfort in their shared space. Instead of viewing his evening naps as withdrawal, she began to appreciate his ability to find peace and rest. Instead of resenting his social preferences, she began to value his desire for deeper, more meaningful connections. This sacred acceptance extends beyond tolerating annoying habits. It means embracing the ways your partner has changed over the decades, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. The person you married at 25 or 35 is not the same person sitting across from you at 65 or 75. Sacred acceptance means falling in love with who they've become, not mourning who they used to be. The key to practicing sacred acceptance is to shift your focus from trying to change your partner to embracing their unique qualities. Start by appreciating the small things that make them who they are, like the way they approach life's simple pleasures or the peace they find in quiet moments. Learn to recognize that what you once saw as flaws may actually be the very things that make your connection deeper and more meaningful. Finally, actively choose to celebrate your partner's growth over time, understanding that love after 60 is about embracing who they've become, not who they once were. This acceptance also means letting go of the stories you've been telling yourself about your marriage. Maybe you've believed that your partner isn't romantic enough, social enough, or adventurous enough. Sacred acceptance invites you to write a new story, one in which their way of loving, of being social, of seeking adventure, is simply different from yours, not inferior to yours. Number 2, the practice of intentional presence. In a world full of distractions, the ability to be truly present with your partner is a rare and invaluable gift. After 60, when life often slows down and the noise of the world becomes less overwhelming, there's an incredible opportunity to strengthen your relationship through intentional presence. This means being fully engaged with your partner, giving them your undivided attention, and truly listening without the need to fix or judge. Intentional presence isn't just about physical proximity. It's about mental and emotional engagement. It's about being there for your partner in the quiet moments as much as in the loud ones. Whether it's simply holding hands while watching a sunset, sharing a quiet cup of coffee without distractions, or sitting together after a long day and simply listening to each other's thoughts, these moments of presence create a deeper connection than any grand gesture ever could. Building on this foundation of acceptance, we encounter something that my friends Thomas and Helen discovered during a particularly challenging period in their 41st year of marriage. Helen had been diagnosed with early-stage Alzheimer's, and Thomas was struggling with how to maintain their connection as she began to experience memory difficulties. What Thomas learned during this time embodies what I call the practice of intentional presence. The art of being fully, completely present with your partner in ways that younger couples, distracted by careers and child-rearing, rarely achieve. Thomas discovered that true presence isn't about grand gestures, but the quality of attention in everyday moments. When Helen couldn't recall their earlier conversation, Thomas learned to make each exchange feel fresh and meaningful. When she struggled for words, he learned to listen fully, with more than just his ears. In fact, research from the University of Rochester shows that couples who practice what researchers call mindful relating, being fully present and attentive during their interactions, report higher levels of relationship satisfaction and emotional connection, with the benefits increasing significantly with age. This connects beautifully to the sacred acceptance we discussed earlier. When you're truly present with your partner, you begin to see them not as the collection of habits and behaviors you've cataloged over the years, but as a complete, complex, ever-evolving human being worthy of your full attention and interest. The practice involves what I call presence rituals. Simple, consistent ways of connecting that prioritize attention and awareness. Some couples create morning check-ins where they share how they're feeling without trying to fix or solve anything. Others establish evening walks where they practice being present with each other and with their surroundings. The beauty of intentional presence is that it turns everyday moments into meaningful connections. Cooking together becomes a shared experience.
Watching TV invites conversation, and even handling practical tasks like paying bills fosters togetherness when done with focus and attention. This practice is especially powerful in later years as we face health challenges or limitations. Rather than seeing these as barriers, intentional presence turns them into opportunities for deeper connection. How do you practice intentional presence in your relationships? What small moments do you cherish most with your partner? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you bring attention and connection into your everyday interactions. The practice of intentional presence might reveal depths in your relationship that you never knew existed. And I'll explain this further right after this.
Number 3. The power of shared legacy. Not everyone discovers the secrets to building lasting happiness early on. It was only after experiencing a breakup that I truly learned these lessons for myself. And it is precisely because of this that I'm now living a deeply fulfilling and joyful life with my current wife. As we deepen our understanding of acceptance and presence, I discovered something that transformed my relationship from a partnership focused on daily maintenance to a collaboration focused on lasting meaning. Catherine and I had always been busy people, but as we entered our 60s, we began to feel a restlessness that neither could quite name. We loved each other deeply, but our days felt routine, our conversations predictable, our connection somehow smaller than it had been in earlier years. Then Catherine and I made a decision that changed everything. We decided to write the family history together, interviewing relatives, digitizing old photographs, and creating a comprehensive record of each family's journey through the decades. What we discovered was the power of shared legacy, the profound intimacy that comes from creating something meaningful together that will outlast your individual lives. The ancient Greek concept of kleos, the idea that our actions can create lasting meaning that transcends our mortal existence, takes on new relevance in senior marriages. When couples focus on building something together that will endure, they tap into a source of connection and purpose that younger couples, focused on immediate goals, rarely experience. This power of shared legacy connects deeply to both acceptance and presence. When you're working on something meaningful together, you naturally practice acceptance. You need each other's different skills and perspectives to succeed. You also naturally practice presence. Meaningful projects require attention, communication, and collaboration. The key insight is that shared legacy transforms your marriage from a private relationship into a partnership with public meaning. You're not just living together, you're building something together that contributes to the world. This shift from consumption to creation, from maintenance to meaning, energizes marriages in ways that traditional retirement activities cannot. Some couples find their shared legacy in mentoring younger couples, sharing the wisdom they've gained through decades of marriage. Others volunteer together for causes they care about, combining their skills and experience to make a difference. Others create art, music, or literature together, expressing their shared vision and values in creative form. When you're thinking about what you want to leave behind, you're forced to consider what you truly value,
what you want to be remembered for, and how your marriage has contributed to something greater than yourselves. The practical application involves asking yourselves, what do we want to create together that will outlast us both? The answer might be artistic, literary, genealogical, charitable, or educational. What matters is that it's something you both find meaningful and that requires your combined efforts and perspectives. What legacy do you want your marriage to leave behind? The power of shared legacy might transform your marriage from a private comfort into a public gift. As we explore the power of shared legacy and its impact on our relationships, let's now shift to the final secret, how growing together, not just as individuals, but as partners, can create an even deeper and more enduring bond.
Number 4. The grace of gentle intimacy. As we age, the nature of intimacy evolves. It moves beyond the fiery passion of youth and deepens into something much more profound. Gentle intimacy. This stage of love is not about constant excitement, but about a quiet, steady connection that provides comfort, security, and understanding. It's about finding joy in the simple, everyday moments shared together. The touch of a hand, a knowing glance, a shared laugh at a familiar joke. Gentle intimacy is built on trust and mutual respect. It's the kind of connection that allows you to be fully yourself without the need to perform or impress. As we grow older, the physical demands of intimacy may change, but the emotional connection only deepens. This is where the true beauty of a long-lasting relationship lies, the grace of simply being together in complete acceptance of each other. The ancient Persian poet Rumi wrote, "Love is the bridge between two hearts." But after decades of marriage, that bridge becomes more than connection. It becomes a sacred space where two souls can rest in complete understanding and acceptance of each other. Research from the Kinsey Institute shows that couples in their 60s and 70s who maintain physical and emotional intimacy report higher levels of life satisfaction and better overall health than those who view intimacy as a young person's experience. But the study also reveals that successful senior intimacy often looks very different from younger expressions of love. Their intimacy became less about performance and more about presence, less about passion and more about tenderness, less about frequency and more about quality. They discovered that when you remove the pressure to perform or conform to external expectations, intimacy can become more authentic and more satisfying than it ever was in younger years. The gentle intimacy of senior marriage also involves what researchers call affectionate touch, the healing power of non-sexual physical connection. Hand-holding, gentle caresses, sitting close together, and simple hugs become profound expressions of love and connection that transcend physical passion. Practically, cultivating gentle intimacy involves creating rituals and practices that honor your connection without creating pressure or expectations. Some couples establish intimacy dates, regular times dedicated to connection that might involve conversation, gentle touch, shared activities, or simply being present together without agenda. It also involves honest communication about changing needs and desires.
Senior couples who thrive in gentle intimacy talk openly about what brings them joy, what makes them feel loved, and what forms of connection matter most to them at this stage of life. The grace of gentle intimacy recognizes that the deepest connections often come not from what you do together, but from how you are together. The quality of attention, the depth of acceptance, the tenderness of care that you bring to your shared moments. How might your marriage change if you embraced gentle intimacy as a valid and beautiful expression of love? What if you discovered that the most profound connections are often the quietest ones? The grace of gentle intimacy might reveal that your marriage's most beautiful chapter is still being written. Give this video a like to show your support, and comment below with your thoughts on how gentle intimacy has shaped your relationship. Conclusion. Before we come to the end of our exploration of these 4 profound secrets, I want you to take a moment to breathe deeply and reflect on the journey we've taken together. We've discovered that a successful marriage in the senior years isn't about recapturing youth or maintaining what was. It's about embracing what can be when 2 people choose to love each other with the full wisdom of their accumulated experience. We've explored the art of sacred acceptance, learning to celebrate our partner's true nature rather than trying to change them. We've delved into the practice of intentional presence, discovering how full attention can transform ordinary moments into profound connections. We've examined the power of shared legacy, understanding how creating something meaningful together can energize and deepen our bond. And we've embraced the grace of gentle intimacy, recognizing that the most profound connections often come from tenderness rather than passion. The ancient philosopher Khalil Gibran wrote, "Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls." In your senior years, you have the wisdom and freedom to let love flow naturally, without the constraints of external expectations or the pressure of proving anything to anyone. The beautiful truth is that implementing these secrets doesn't require dramatic changes or difficult conversations. It requires gentle shifts in perspective, small daily choices to love more consciously, and the courage to embrace your marriage as it is while nurturing it toward what it can become. So this is my invitation to you. Choose one of these 4 secrets to focus on this week. If you've been trying to change your partner, practice sacred acceptance. If you've been distracted or absent, practice intentional presence. If your marriage feels routine, explore shared legacy. If you've been longing for deeper connection, embrace gentle intimacy. Now, here's a little favor I'm asking. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and send it to your closest friend. You never know how these small shifts in perspective could make a big difference in someone's life. Sometimes, the most precious gift we can give is the reminder that our best years of love might still be ahead of us. Love is a journey, and sometimes the best part is realizing that the most beautiful chapters are yet to come. Let's keep learning and growing together.